Shalom, shalom. This area from GMS Savannah, Georgia, come with another lesson. But first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the beloved apostles, elders, and elder bishop, great millstone, which rule well and teach well. And to the arcane pushing his 100% truth and sincerity by risking their life and freedom to do so, all four corners of the earth. And salutation to your hopeful Leka, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as you speckled birds scattered amongst the heathens that have the appearance of the heathens, but your father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also referred to as Israelite foreigners. But today's lesson I'm going into is today, man, as we coming closer and closer to the end, it's just a lot that's going on. And right here, the topic right here is Atlanta man killed his mother. Her boyfriend then lived with their bodies for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, people. Just imagine the decomposing of the bodies. It actually happens very rapidly once that spirit leaves that wicked body, filthy rag body that we live in. And it says that the man in Atlanta has been convicted after he deleted his mother and her boyfriend and lived with their bodies inside the couple's home about 2 weeks. Authorities said that Neil Russell reportedly lived with the bodies of his mother, Henrietta Russell, and her longtime boyfriend, Marvin Spencer, for approximately 2 weeks after he stabbed them to deletion in late February 2025. Fulton County Chief's Senior Assistant District Attorney Travis Thomas told Channel 2 Atlanta that Russell, 41, waited until his mother was paid her Social Security, and he immediately went to an ATM machine and emptied out her account. As Russell continued to live at home with the body, Spencer's daughter, Ramira Spencer, grew concerned when she could not reach him. Suspicion about their welfare grew when Russell answered his mom's phone when Maria called it in an attempt to locate Spencer. 19-year-old arrested after allegedly stabbing father to death in front of grandmother. Maria said that she never met Russell, though she knew something wasn't right when he answered his mother's phone. She then went to the couple's apartment and asked the property manager to do a welfare check, though they were unable to get into the residence. The cops were eventually called about the situation, and they reported to the scene where they smelled decomposing bodies from outside. Responding officers then got involved in an hour-long standoff with Russell before he eventually surrendered. A SWAT team forced entry into the home March 7, 2025, and found the bodies inside. Authorities said that they believe Henrietta and Spencer had been deleted for at least 2 weeks before the bodies were recovered. Russell was recently convicted of the murders and was sentenced to serve 2 consecutive life sentences, plus an additional 25 years, according to Channel 2 Atlanta. The sentence means that he won't be eligible for parole for at least 60 years, making it likely that he will perish in prison. While Russell was found guilty, police have said there's not a clear motive why Russell killed Henrietta and Spencer. However, Russell did not have a history of substance abuse issues. We know he has a drug history. He had just gone out. He had just gone out of rehab at the time, Thomas told the outlet. But reflecting on the tragedy while speaking to Channel 2 Atlanta, saying that her faith is one of the main reason she has been able to process her father and Henrietta's killings. I have really necessarily taken the time off to properly grieve, she added. Man, that's something else. Jake, Jake might have been on, anticipating part of the Squid Games, man. They lose their mind, man. He looked like he got a demon on him. No remorse, for his own mother, And we just gonna hit Matthew 24:12 say, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax and cold, and it become psychotic. And this Jake came psychotic, man, to have no remorse, to delete his mother and her boyfriend. No remorse at all, and had the bodies in the house decomposing after 2 weeks, man. That's a spirit, man. That's definitely waxing cold, for sure, 100%. Ecclesiastes 39:28 say, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of them that made them. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushua make those spirits, man, creative of vengeance. Because you got to remember, nobody perished being innocent, man, and they done been here before. And, they was getting their judgment. And this Jake was getting his judgment too. So it was a trifecta, and you just don't know what, was going on with Jake and the boyfriend. And man, it was probably a lot of tensions there and stuff. And you just see how these spirits came out of this Jake, man. And these spirits that was created for vengeance. And like I say, Jake didn't have no remorse at all. And we got to always remember 1 Samuel 2:6, that the Lord kill and make alive. He bring it down to the grave and bring it up. So, this was part of the Lord's movie for them to be deleted, man. This was all Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's it. That's who does all the killing and bring it up from the grave. And we got to always remember Romans 2:11, that for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh our power. And no respect of person, like I tell you, spirits has been here before, and people just come back for their judgment. And so apparently what has happened, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has put judgment on the mother, the boyfriend, and the son. As they say, a trifecta. That's just the time we in, It ain't no telling what mental state that son was in, His mind probably been gone, on drugs, He might have been part of the Squid Games, who knows? They mind gone. And their spirit just took over for vengeance. And that's what happened here, wax and cold, as we always say. But I hope this edifying to the sheep, the lamb and sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Kwan Yasharala, Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and on to the next lesson. Shalom.